Hey everybody, Bob Adams. It is the 27th of January. This once again is a presentation on our IHUB training. It's going to be just a tad bit different this evening. Ron's going to be doing the entire presentation from his location instead of me doing it on mine because he's got some really great slides prepared. And in case you haven't figured it out yet, IHUB, and he is the master of our IHUB community that we're creating here. And I'm so grateful to have Ron doing this information. He's got resources above and beyond that I've got access to in this particular IHUB venture that we're playing in. And he also does a really good job on his presentations. So I want to thank him very much for being here. I'm going to tell you that next week he'll be doing the presentation as well. I will not be able to attend. I've got some wonderful doctor's appointments to go do. Woohoo! All right. So having said that, we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. And if you want to go ahead and click that for me, Ron, and I'll go ahead and do the disclaimer. Thank you. This is the usual disclaimer that I always have to do to everybody because the attorney says this is what we have to do. So, all information and discussions regarding cryptocurrencies and installment of operations, IHUB support, and educational material are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I want to stop and explain something there. The reason why that line is in there for educational and entertainment purposes only is to satisfy some of the rules and regulations that the SEC puts out for us. So while it sounds like, oh, it's just entertainment, actually it's just a coverage for that part. So don't think that we're being lied about our work that we're doing, because that's not the case here. Our general in nature are not intended as investment, legal, or tax advice. Each person's personal investment, risk level, and financial situation is unique and different, and the information provided may not apply or work effectively for you. By signing up for and attending or participating in our informational, internet, or in-person workshops, seminars, and follow-up meetings, you agree that Bob Adams, Ron Duggar, Tony Elder, and all affiliated companies, representative and associates, or employees, information providers are hereby held harmless from all liability and loss associated with the information and discussions provided, and as to any action or strategy that you may choose to implement with regard to the same. All right. Having said that, I'm now going to step back out of the way, let Ron take this over. Now, before Ron jumps in to do his thing, I want to qualify something by saying you may have, if you've signed up, you should have received notice of accessibility to be able to order your antenna or to determine it. Now, they've got some really great videos, and I know he's going to talk about that here in a little bit. I've been watching those videos. I'm in a nowhere land situation where I'm at, and so the antenna isn't a great big issue for me, but it is well put together, guys, and the next step is those boxes that are coming out. So, Ron, my friend, if you want to unmute yourself.
I have unmuted. Can everybody hear me?
There you are. Yes, you are in a great space. All right, okay. I'm going to step out of the way, and it's all yours, guy.
Thank you, Bob, and welcome, everybody. Did I get muted? No, that's Bob muted. Okay, sorry about that. We did a test earlier for making sure that people can hear me. So if for some reason one of you can't hear me, let us know right away, unmute yourself, and so we'll try to fix that early on. But I wanted to just kind of cover a whole lot of information, rapid fire, because I want to make sure we get to the point of having some question and answer time as well at the end. So the outline that I've kind of put together here is, first I want to cover some news, things that are kind of happening fairly recent with IHUB and Helium, and kind of separate the two of those so you kind of know who those two companies are. Then we want to do some marketing topic, and we'll cover some with IHUB Global, and then also a little bit with the Start Your Crypto. Again, all that is trying to help you get a foothold on building your own affiliate marketing, and how we can support and help you, and how IHUB can support and help you as well. And then we will touch on the antenna and the hotspot training on, these are about to start hitting our homes and places of business or wherever our destinations are, and we can get ahead of that by watching some training videos that they've produced, as well as learning a little bit about the antennas and even getting use out of that voucher that they're providing. We are going to touch on and introduce you to COINZOOM, which is an exchange and wallet that has partnered with IHUB, or IHUB has partnered with them. So we wanted to introduce that to you. And there's some giveaways and things that are associated with that as well. And hopefully enough time at the end that I can quickly go over some of the helium tokenomics. Reason why I cover that is I want you to get a kind of a general idea that the efforts you're going to put on the front end of this thing, this is a multi-year output for you if you put the little effort into the front end. I don't know about you, but in my business life, getting involved with different companies, more times than not, I've been let down by the company or companies or products or something like that, where it just didn't give me as much history or future that I would like to have had in that business opportunity, and so you start bouncing around to something new. I just want you to feel in that little discussion we're going to have at the end about the tokenomics that this is something I believe myself that we can count on for many years to pay out for us. So that's our outline. Let's go ahead and start through this. So let's just cover some of the news. First of all, there has been at least 1,000 antenna vouchers that have been sent out to affiliates. So if you had signed up and paid your $99 and you were within 1,000, more than likely you would have already been notified multiple times that your antenna voucher is available for you. What I just learned in one of the videos that I had watched, that there's another 8,000 that supplier is ready to issue the vouchers on. And so that is going to expand it up to where at least 9,000 of us in the IHUB organization would have been given the voucher opportunity. And so, if you even are beyond 1,000 person that's got to, pay the $99, then you're also starting to probably get those vouchers as well. There is a announcement that's $25,000 of crypto giveaway for signing up to COINZOOM.com. And so we're going to cover that in a little more detail when I get to that section there. And then COINZOOM.com is now offering HNT as a wallet in their wallet. So when I first signed up to COINZOOM, I thought, why in the world is IHUB hooking up with COINZOOM, because they didn't even offer HNT as a coin yet. So that is recent, and they now offer it, and they are ready to launch the relationship with COINZOOM very integratedly. So I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. And then just on the helium side of things, I just noticed not long ago, within the last month, that helium has now exceeded 500,000 active hotspots worldwide. So I'll show you that when we get to that section as well. First discussion really is on marketing, and so I wanted to cover some of those things. And so the way this is going to work, I've got slides here to keep me on track and stuff, but I'll be pulling actual live website screens over, and we'll discuss those as we go along, so you can kind of watch this and as I navigate. So first of all, I'm going to bring this across here, and you should all be able to see that screen now. I am logged into my IHUB Global account, and I just wanted to point out a couple things. First of all, on this IHUB promotion, and it's just a rotating screen here, I wanted to, let's just navigate back, and I want to put a little pitch for this right. That's the launch event. That's the replay. What I was trying to get to was, there we are, the marketplace launch. Let me just try to hold on that. So February 24th, this used to be $49. It's free for everybody. You do have to click the registration. I'm going to click it right now real quickly so you can kind of see what that looks like. You are going into a third-party place where you can sign up. It says buy a ticket, but basically it's free. When you go into it, it's free. You just sign up for it, and then you'd be ready to get any of the announcements that come leading up to that, and the link to get into that when it happens. I'm sure they'll record it and play it available later, but I would recommend you do that. That'll have us an opportunity to learn more about extra ways that our organizations can earn money in the IHUB marketplace as that's being offered shortly. All right, now the next area I kind of wanted to point out is this important announcement area off to the right. And the first topic is new training. I just wanted to point out to you that there's multiple ways to get to some of the content. So this would be a hot link. The other one we'll be covering or pointing out to you is this Hotspot antenna course and live webinars. So if I click on this real quickly, it'll go to a really, not just a single video, but, and this is what Bob was just talking about, there's a video on unboxing on four different, three of the different brands of hotspots, and I too have watched those, and it was informative. And so that's a place where I would suggest you go ahead and spend some time, watch some of them. They're all very similar. There's some of them have a couple unique things about it. This last video down, it's not right here. It talks a little bit about how to hook it up through your Wi-Fi. And that's a little different step on that one. So, but to get to training videos, you can actually go here, or let's go back to the dashboard. Okay, so again, a hot link, if I go to the antenna training real quickly, it's going to bring you just to the videos that are focused on antenna training. So to stay on track, that's down the road a little bit in my discussion with you. So let's go back to dashboard. And let's just talk about marketing for a moment. The first thing I want to point out to you is this link here, the My Affiliate link. You each would have one of these, and that is intended to be a landing page that you could send people to, that if they follow through with the join button, so I'm now clicking over to mine, this is what they all will look like. If someone clicks this join IHUB Global, they would be signing up under your organization. But I would recommend that you spend a little bit of time and understand that the information that's on this particular landing page, there's a short video here, 2 minutes long, and just talks about a number of things about what this is, so people can get a basic understanding. And this is the commercial that has been produced by, that's really well done, that's been produced by Helium. So these are all short, informational, that will help people maybe make an assessment as to whether they want to go ahead and join. Now, when they do click either one of these buttons, this is the screen that they actually see. Uh-oh, you know what? I have to be logged out. So let me do that quickly because I wanted to show you this. So let's log back to here. I'm logged out, and oh, you know what? Let's go here. I've got to log in. Okay. Let's grab this. Sorry about this, guys. Now let's log out. Let's open up a new screen and paste. Okay, so it's here. I'm not logged in now, so now when I click on this, it should give us this screen here. So this is them registering as a new account. They can either, it's defaulted as being an affiliate. If they want to maybe earn some money off of referring other people, then they would click here, they fill out some basic information, click the agree box, and register their account. However, you can, as you talk with people, say, you know, you may not want to market this, or at least right now you haven't decided to do that, so you can actually just sign up as a host and a customer. The only difference between these two is their back office will have less features and abilities to do some marketing that would happen if you are an affiliate. They can always convert their account later to become an affiliate at a later date. I would try to encourage as many people to sign up as an affiliate as possible, just because that step would have already been done, and if they started just even referring some people to you, you can help build their organization for them. And that's kind of what Bob and I and Tony are attempting to do for those folks that join up in our organization. So now, let me see if I can get back to, let's just go to dashboard for a second. Sign in. Okay, so you've got this, as far as of marketing, you've got this affiliate link that take full advantage of it, whether you put together an email, personalized email, send it out to people that you know. Take advantage of utilizing that. The other thing that they have provided inside here is the Helium Track and doing assessments. And an assessment does a couple things. Number one, it determines whether or not that location, that address, is even eligible for one of these leased or, a hotspot that would come from IHUB. And so to do that, you'd go to your Helium Track button over here on the left, and you're just going to go to the network map. Let me see if I can open this in a different tab, because I closed it a minute ago. Okay, so the Helium Track is going to look like this, and it's kind of a map. Now, there's a paid account. There's two versions of a paid account, and one of them gives you 5 assessments per day. That's $9.99 a month, and then there's one that's unlimited for $39. However, I'm going to show you how, for free, you can determine whether a location, and you can do this unlimited times, whether it's eligible at least. And so if you go up into this address here, and I'm just going to, because it'll kind of auto-fill. This is not an address that I necessarily know this person, but I'm just going to pick one. So it'll see this drop down, so I'm going to click that one right there. Okay, now once it's selected on, if you go Plan Hotspot, this button right here, okay, and then I'm going to have to re-enter that address, or start re-entering that address that I just did. And so over on the left-hand side, you can see it. And at some point, you get about a little bit into it, and then I can do a search, and it finds it. It doesn't matter which one. I'm just going to click this one. It solved one. Doesn't matter. I'm going to hit agree, and then I'm going to plan a hotspot. Now it's running in intelligence, and it's coming back and says this location is already too dense. Okay, that's all we really wanted to know at this point in time from a marketing standpoint. Is, hey, before I even take and put out the effort of contacting this person, you know, is their location even worth doing? And you can always just delete it afterwards. You don't have to really plan the hotspot. And so, again, without paying any money in Helium Track, putting in an address, and then hit the Plan Hotspot button, you can at least determine whether or not that is an eligible location. So I just wanted to kind of touch base on that. Now, if it is, let's actually try another one here. 1224. I knew it did one earlier, south. I think there was one that came up. Let's just do, I don't want to be all back east. Let's do this. Let's see if something just comes up. Let's try this Indiana, or Portland, Indiana. Let's see if that will be an eligible one. So it's finding it. Let's hit a plan hotspot. This should be a little more rural, likely. So 1224 south, 100 west. Let's just solve this one. Indiana, that's fine. That's probably not a rural area, or kind of a rural area as well. So it hits plan a hotspot there. So it's running the intelligence. Let's see if we get a winner here. Okay, so nice one. This is on here. So what I was pointing out to, I can just plan the hotspot, and that's actually going to put it in an area that I can go back and revisit. I don't have to do this every time. Or you can upgrade and send the assessment. So this is where it's going to require you to decide if you want to have the starter plan, 5 mining assessments per day, or the Pro plan, which is $39 a month. Both these are monthly, and they are not necessarily renewable. I've had Pro plans, and then they expire, and I can just sign up again. So depending on how active I'm trying to be right now, or at the time to do it. So this is not going to break the bank if you're trying to do some marketing and growing your business. So
hey, Ron,
go ahead.
Guys, just for your own information, this is what I do also. Okay.
Yeah. So
there are some times when I have a lot of people that I'm going to be helping, so I'll do the 39, and then sometimes I don't, and so I'll just keep the 991 going because it gives me 5 per day. Now, he's going to show here in a minute how to send those addresses and stuff in case you want some help with it. But it is adequate. It works really, really well. So don't feel like you're undercutting yourselves for a whopping $10 a month, because you're going to get pretty much everything you need to expand your business. All right, I'm out of here.
Perfect. I'm going to now jump over to Start Your Crypto. So now this is a property or an asset that is controlled by us. Bob's done a wonderful job on this website. And I will talk about assessments in a moment, but I wanted to just, let's go back to home here, and let's see, I think it's IHUB. Yeah, training videos. So these training videos, he's taken these training videos off of various places. You saw that when you're in the that affiliate link, you saw that one, so he's pulled that one down. This, Bob, you might want to consider actually changing this one out, because I think they've got an upgraded one that talks about the affiliate program and so forth. Yep.
Yes, I believe that one also talks about the free hotspots.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We might want to get the good information there.
I haven't updated it in a little while. I'll take care of it.
Okay, perfect. But these are some training videos that are kind of assembled. Really the ones that I wanted to point out to you. Where are they at? I knew they were here. Where are they at? Oh, I'm sorry about this. Maybe it was just intro. Yeah, it was the very first one here. So this is their commercial. These right here, there's, 4 or 5 of them, okay? I found this to be the most helpful information. These are not IHUB videos. These are from Helium. But there's what they call a white paper that really describes the project, okay? And these short videos actually give a great description of the white paper, so how this thing works, okay? And so I really would recommend, and that was just under the IHUB network. It's just this very first thing. It's introduction to thing, and scroll down and you'll see them. So I would recommend people that you want to introduce to it, come right to startyourcrypto.com and go through these videos with them, or make sure they watch them, because I think it answers a lot of questions, and it may actually create some interest and maybe some questions that they have as well, so that it's a good starting spot. So let's just go to this free assessment. So what Bob is committed to do is to help you. The one thing if you don't pay the money, you're not going to send the assessment out. And inside that assessment, there's an opportunity for you to kind of get an idea of what kind of not only that the location would work, but also what kind of revenue that might happen, or the amount of HNT per month that might be generated from that location. So he's put together a step-by-step here that if you'll just complete the form and follow these steps, basically, he will generate those for you and send them back to you. This address box is a large box. If you have, say, 5 addresses that you want him to check on, you could do them all in a single form rather than trying to submit multiple of these things. A lot of this stuff is optional information to check, but I would really recommend that if you're not going to, or you don't feel comfortable yet getting into running your own assessments or your own intelligences inside Helium Track, then I would maybe come over to Start Your Crypto and utilize this. Now, you just don't want to have your individuals that you're referring and have them come over here to do any enrolling from this location, because then they would be actually putting under someone else's organization, not yours, and so just be careful with that. I think that might be all I wanted to cover on the marketing, covering both those areas. Go ahead.
Throw a thought here, Ron. Okay, so when you send me these addresses, now some of the questions that are on there says, have you already registered? Well, the reason why I do that is because when I run the assessment on that address, it may come back and say, hey, this spot's already taken. In actuality, it wasn't taken. It was reserved, but it wasn't really taken. And so what I do is when I get through running that assessment, I run the next step, which is the, what's that one next to
the intelligence or the
intelligence. Yeah, the intelligence, because the intelligence is really important. It shows you what people in that area have been doing. And so it gets you an idea for what that box potentiality is. And that's really great. And so I pick up that number and put it into a little calculation and send it back to you to say, hey, this is what the box could do for you or for the person whose registered address you just gave to me based upon what the agreement is that IHUB has. But if you were to go ahead and get 26 people underneath you, and if they did a bare minimum, I mean a bare minimum of any kind of transactions at all, this is the potential income that it has to come off of it. So it's a free assessment, guys, and I tell you, I got it down smooth. I can get those things done and out of here in 30 seconds. There you go. I'm done.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're moving on to the antenna and the hotspot tutorials. I already kind of pointed out those, so let's quickly cover it one more time here real fast. Right here. So this, again, I wanted to help you navigate and find out where you kind of navigate. You got the live webinars here. You got the support center. Under the support center, you have all of the training videos. So this link here, training videos. All right, and so now inside here you can, a lot of different training topics, and inside each of these is going to be more videos, or a group of videos that you need to, or that covers that topic. So let's set up installing your hotspots. So here's a whole bunch of these videos that we just saw through a different link. So you'll see Eric talk an introductory, and then you can watch each of these. And they're not terribly long. He does a pretty good job, 3 minutes. And but then you're going to get an idea of what to expect when these boxes arrive. Well, the same thing on the antenna. Let's go back to see if I can spot the antenna. So I'm doing training videos again. Antenna, upgrading your hotspot antenna. So essentially inside here there's a grouping of videos. Again, they're done, fairly short. They're fairly easy to digest that information, but it's going to help you understand what antennas do, the cone, the directional capacity of them, and so forth. And so, I mean, that's a 17-minute video right here, but I tell you what, you're going to become quite intelligent about radio transmissions as you go through that one there. Choosing the right cable helps you understand how to determine what kind of loss that you're going to have with the longer cable. So you're trying to decide, am I going to do an outside antenna? Am I going to do an 8 dBi, a 5.8 dBi, or and so these training videos are going to help you maybe decide how to do it. And then there's this one here just walks you through how to go ahead and utilize your voucher and make the purchase. These vouchers are, from what I can tell, are roughly a $50 discount off whatever, if you're trying to do a lot of cable, the more expensive antenna, you're effectively getting about a $50 discount off of that. Okay, so that's all I really wanted to cover there, is point to you where you would find the training for these boxes that are coming to us and the antennas. And after you've watched those, obviously, if you have any questions, in a next upcoming question and answer, we can maybe cover those questions. So that's staying on task. Let's see what's the next thing. We've want to move through this stuff here. Okay, let's talk about this relationship with COINZOOM. COINZOOM, I have used in the past, as many of you know, Crypto.com. This would be a very good comparable to that product or that service that I've been using. There's a few advantages to this one I like even more. Number one, it's US-based, and it's also an exchange. Of course, I have other exchanges that I use for trading, but I would look closer at this one as a possibility. They're based here in Salt Lake City. And the point that it's US-based, they actually are available in all 50 states, which is good too. There's some of these out of the country ones, there's like Texas and New York are challenges for some of these exchanges. They just have a harder time getting approval to be running in some of the states. This $25,000 of crypto giveaway. this is coming from IHUB, I believe, and so once they have the sign-up process ready to go and announced, that's when you'd want to go through this process. But they'll be having a campaign to get everybody to get an account here with COINZOOM, and they'll be selecting 25 of the affiliates, and they will all receive $1,000 of some kind of crypto. It's $1,000 value of, I don't know which crypto they'll be using, but that's how that's going to happen. The sign-up process has been available. I have actually signed up. I think Bob has as well. There was a link through the commissions portal to do so. And if you had signed up through that link, in the video training I saw, they said those were captured. And so it's only if you go directly to COINZOOM.com and then sign up directly through that process, then you would not be eligible for this giveaway. And so they're slowly saying just hold off. The whole sign-up process is being reworked, and they'll be promoting it heavily very soon. And so next I want to just kind of bring up that website, COINZOOM, and talk about what it is and show you some stuff on it. Okay, let's go back to products. Let's see if let's do it here. Okay, so here's, let's go here to products, see if that comes up. Okay, so there'll be both an Android or iPhone iOS version that you can download. It is an exchange, and I'll actually show you that view here in a second. You can buy and sell and trade those currencies. And then you can spend them. So essentially you can get a Visa debit card and spend it to 53 million merchants, just like Visa could. And so that's a nice little feature. That's a way of moving. You can, as if you were having a business, you can kind of set things up so that you have payments and accept payments in crypto. And so this is an overview right here. Of course, you've got the app. There's a pro app, and that's where it's going to start giving you some a lot of more indicators, and maybe use it better as an actual trading platform. Your Visa card, advanced trader, some other features you have of that. Your earn, I wanted to cover a little bit here. You have an opportunity on earning interest on 40 coins that they have in their system, and also their coin, which is the Zoom coin. If you have some of that and you stake it, then you can actually get another 20% bonus interest on that. And I'm going to show you those coins here in a second, because you get 5% of your HNT if you just stake that while you're not spending it.
Yeah. Ron, take just a second and let's cover what staking is.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me touch two things here. One, you can Zoom me, which is just like moving money for free across the internet to someone else's that's got a COINZOOM account, and then this commerce if you had a business and want to start doing that. So I'm going to click on the earn here for just a moment, and this will help us understand this concept of staking. Effectively, just like if you had I guess a good example would be if you wanted to buy a savings bond or the bank, rather than just in the interest that you get on a savings account, you can actually put it away for 6 months and receive a little bit more interest effectively, but then it's locked up for that period of time without penalties if you try to access it early. That's effectively what happens here. So invest in crypto, earn crypto, utilize crypto's earn and receive up to 10% APY on your cryptocurrency and USD deposits. Earning interest on over 40 coins, plus the COINZOOM VIP customers can earn up to 20% in bonus interest. So you can see the different coins that you could go ahead and stake and put away. In other words, if you own some of these, you can say, okay, I'm going to lock it up, and then they would be giving you interest during the time that you have it locked up or reserved. Still your coins, it's on their platform, but they're paying you an interest on it. But I wanted to come down here and just let you see that's 5% on your HNT. So as you're earning HNT and you're not converting it to USD, and you have moved it over to your COINZOOM Zoom account, because effectively all of us right now, when you first sign up with IHUB, IHUB collects that HMT from all of our boxes because they really own all of our boxes. We just are hosting them. And all of that HMT is in a master wallet, but in our commissions calculations, there's a portion of that big wallet that is tied to our account. So in our back office on the commission side of things at IHUB, we can do and place a new wallet where we want that money to, or that HMT to be transferred to. So as you have a COINZOOM account, if that's the direction you go, then you could go ahead and place your wallet address in the IHUB commission area, and it would be automatically moving your HMT over to your COINZOOM account. And then you could go ahead and decide to stake that and earn some interest on it while you're letting it build up.
Okay, now, Ron, one more time. Okay. When we get to the end this evening, guys, in the presentation, don't be afraid to ask more about this particular piece of information, because this is important. This is an opportunity to be able to earn money with a little bit of security to it. It doesn't leave you out with the variables of the up and down. But we'll talk more about that later, and it's all yours.
Great. So I just wanted to point you out, of course, it's just COINZOOM.com. You could spend some more time on here, but I just want to stress the guys, just don't go ahead and sign up yet. Do it through the link. Have an opportunity for some, a raffle to get some extra money. I think that's all I really wanted to cover on the, yeah. So, you know what, I was going to actually show you the exchange. So if I just go to products, I think. Oh no, hit exchange right here. This is what it looks like, and it's very similar to a lot of other exchanges. And you've got your order book or orders over here, your trade history going on, your buy and sell to actually do the trades, and then this is just a search to find coins and pairings that you can do it. So very simple. Of course, once you have an account, you'd have, and you actually logged into your account, you'd have your order history and all of your information and so.
Okay, just as a real quick update on here, guys. Being able to view these and work within the exchanges can seem kind of spooky, scary, because it's something foreign you haven't done before. Don't worry about it. Ron and I are going to take the time to show you how to do this. Obviously, it'll be recorded. You'll have a chance to see it even more. At first, when I first saw this, yeah, it was terrifying for me too. But once you figure it out, it ain't that hard. And so I'm just letting you know right now, don't be set off by this just because it looks foreign to you. We'll help you with it.
Yeah, the reason I kind of also wanted to see this is because, I do like my Crypto.com. Had some challenges here recently with them, but the point is that Crypto.com, they're based out of the country, they do have an exchange, but I can't join it. I can't trade on that. It's just a wallet and my Visa card. That's what I use, and I've been buying, whenever I take USD and buy coins, I've been buying them with my Crypto.com account. And COINZOOM looks like it would not only give me, those features and benefits, the same kind of things I'm getting with Crypto.com, but it has got an exchange platform that I can sign up to, and can't say if I'd use this one exclusively or how much I would use this one over some of the other ones we've got, but it's just nice to know that is going to be available in a feature inside one account.
And most importantly, it's in the U.S.
Yeah, it's U.S. based. And of course, your Visa, that ties that to a banking relationship here in the U.S. as well. Okay, and that's what's nice about it. I spend money. I spend my cryptos and in my everyday life. And like I said, this free transfer, what they've talked about in this video is they are working it out so that there's always a cost when you're moving money around. But if you set this up where you're going to move your HMT from IHUB and your commission accounting over there and move it and transfer it to a COINZOOM account, that transfer will not have any cost to it. If you're moving it to maybe a different wallet, there may be some costs associated with it. So that's just one of the other advantages of maybe having a Zoom account. Okay, so let me just read these and then we'll spend a little bit of time. And what's our timing here? Okay, I'm going to try to cover this as fast as possible, but I think it's important that you kind of get an idea of what's behind this whole thing. So the first thing, as I mentioned, there's anybody launching a cryptocurrency or a blockchain and a project, they put together a white paper, and that white paper kind of explains really what they're doing and how they're going to achieve it and those kinds of things. And so in the Helium tokenomics, they have built in their white paper a distribution plan that runs 50 years. And it's a dual coin. They use HNT and they use DC, which is data credits. And those together create a burn and mint function that really gives this 50-year distribution plan kind of an unlimited future, even after 50 years, because of the burn and mint function. It's not going to end in 50 years. I just wanted to kind of highlight that. It does also create this burn and mint. It creates a supply and demand, which promotes the HNT coin appreciation of that coin over time. This also is really interesting how this came about. The investors, these are called venture capitalists that put millions and millions of dollars. At this point in time, Helium has raised $168 million in seed capital in building this or raising the capital to build this company. And the founders obviously, some of them put money in, some of them probably didn't, but they brought a lot of talent to the table. And then of course there's the affiliates and the users being companies that have sensors that are going to run their data across the platform as it gets built. But what is important to understand, and I'm going to show you in this white paper, what happened here, these investors, instead of getting a return when the company went public or at some juncture down the road where they were bought out and get their return, and same with the founders, when they created Helium, the blockchain, all of the investors, the founders, all of us who are affiliates or hosting, hotspots or building hotspots or whatever, and then these users, all of their interests are aligned, meaning that this company, instead of becoming a company that would ever go public, they released it as open source, meaning that really all of the intellectual properties of the Helium network and the blockchain and all of the coins are really it's the people's network, and that's really not just a name. There isn't. Everybody's going to get paid through the growth of the network and the value of the network and the generation of the revenue that comes through the network. And I'll show that in here as we go to these next few slides. They're well funded, they've got solid management and a proven use case, meaning that at 500,000 strong in terms of hotspots, that is the fastest distribution of a wireless network that has ever been built. I mean, it takes billions and billions of dollars and many, many years for a telecom to put up all of the towers and make them all work and get the coverage. And this little company, in just a short few years, has dwarfed in terms of actual data points or devices that are able to create this wireless network, this radio network. And so it's just really an exciting, proven use case at this point in time, and there's nothing going to stop it. So let's now pull my screen back across and let's go over a couple things relating to Helium. So again, IHUB is a marketing company. They've chosen to do an aggressive affiliate marketing, allowing many of us to come in and not only put a hotspot in our homes, but also be able to bring other people in and have an override, as it were, with revenue coming from their boxes. Okay, first of all, this Helium Explorer I wanted to point out. So they're currently at 524,000 hotspots, and in the last 30 days, 69,000 of them have been launched. Okay, so it's starting to get exponential. What some of the slowdowns have been is the availability from these manufacturers to get the boxes to us. And what we're seeing, not only with IHUB, but with these other manufacturers that are selling them, directly to other outlets and directly to consumers, I think that bottleneck is starting to shake free, and the accessibility of boxes is going to be much more readily available. And of course, this number is just going to explode. There's some other information that I wanted to point out to you, because when we're talking about DCs or these data credits in a minute, but in the last 30 days, companies, now these are businesses, these are clients now that are taking real dollars and buying data credits. The way you get a data credit, the only way you get a data credit, is you've got to first buy or own some HMT, and then you convert that HMT or that helium into data credits, which then burns that HMT. So it reduces the supply, okay? And so we're going to go over that in just a second here. So let's do that now. Let's jump back over to the screen here. And so this data, this HMT, which is the cryptocurrency that we all earn, and it's for validating the wireless coverage in the network, and we're paid HMT whenever there's data transfer going across the network that we're participating in. What a data credit is used by devices to send data on the network and for blockchain transaction fees. Data credits are created by burning HMT. There's no other way you can get a data credit. You've got to own HMT, and so that forces, the reason why the US dollar is holds its value is because everybody has to have some of it. Other countries, certainly we can't even pay our taxes without owning some US dollars, and so it creates demand. And so this is, and it's not, these data credits, once they burn it, they're not exchangeable, so that company has to spend it. And so they're very committed, obviously, when they do it, and it's a single user that's tied to that. And so here's the distribution real quickly. Remember, all of those interests, are they aligned? So the data network, the network data transfer rewards that's given to us, 30% of all of the money as the breakdown is given out to us, and the 35% also is the rewards for participating in the witnessing and the creating of the proof of coverage. So right now, most of our revenue as we hook up our boxes is coming from this function, this 35%, because we don't have that many that much data traffic going through from paying customers spending their DC, their data credits. Most of it is coming directly from the HMT that were being mined. It's this mining process, and it's the proof of coverage. It's the challenging and the witnessing of the communication between the different hotspots. So what's this 35% over here? Helium, the company, the original founders, and all these investors, they are accepting their money, their return on their investment, these $160 million, and they're receiving their return on investment currently at the rate of 35% of all of the HMT that's earned is coming back to them. Now, over time, this distribution is going to change, and then it will level out. And so your helium investors are at 35%, and your data network traffic is here. But over time, this is year 1, year 25, and actually about year 20 or something like that, it locks in and then it becomes steady. Okay, so there's a period of time when the expectation is more and more clients as the network is to build it. They'll come if you build it kind of concept. And as this network gets big enough, a lot more customers are going to start using the network, and so our revenue from HMT is going to come from a different source, basically. Okay, and so this is there's a max supply of HMT. So just like there's a max supply of Bitcoin, this follows that model. And so you say to yourself, well, how, they're eventually in 50 years going to mine all the 223 million HMT, then what happens? And that's back to this net emissions functionality. So as people own HMT, this would be a company that's got a bunch of sensors that they want to communicate across the network, they're going to have HMT, and they're going to turn it into data credits, which burns that, and then the system reuses those burned HMT to continue to pay us. And so this is kind of the breakdown of how that works. So right now, the HMT that is being minted is high at this point in time, and over 50 years, it gets less and less and less. And then during that period of time, the ratio of the net emissions that is being reutilized in the supply is going up. So that's the kind of the tokenomics, the economics of this function that's happening. Is how we're going to get paid now, and how we're going to get paid tomorrow, and the next day, and a year from now, and 5 years from now, and 20 years from now, by being in this network. So anyway, I think that's really what I wanted to cover, and I'm sure there'll be maybe some questions. I believe we've covered everything that I had on my slides. We've actually covered it pretty well, I believe, and we're now 10 minutes to 7 on my time. Okay. So I'm going to let you take it back over, and we can go question and answer.
Good job, Ron. Good job. Okay, before we open the floor, and we don't have a really large group tonight, which is what I expected. That's fine. Like I said, we're rekindling this thing and moving it forward. Tony and I are going to be doing a series of audios to be sending out to everybody who's signed up underneath this already, and to be assisting people into being able to build their business, which is what we're really after, is people building their business. And I'm looking forward to it. Ron's a key part of this. I know that I'm trying to do my part to make it available to help you be able to quantify and qualify the people you want to put underneath you. And like I said, at the very beginning of the whole thing, it's all about real estate. And so being able to find those locations and get them put in as quickly as possible is the key to having this thing become that long-term retirement program that we've all been looking for. So, before I open this up, I got a couple of things that I want to share, and then we're going to go for it and everything here. First, I want to say this. I don't know about you, but MLMs don't work for me, okay? And the thing that I have found in working with this particular one, because I've worked with several others before in the past, is exactly what Ron got through saying, is that this is not like others. You can actually get into this thing, make it work for you without having to buy a single frickin' thing. And I got to tell you, I didn't need to buy and order a machine. Ron, could you mute yourself, please?
Oh, yeah, sorry about
that. I didn't need to order a machine for my house here because where I'm at, I have no coverage. I'm so far away from everybody and everything that there's the closest other IHUB from here is 30 miles away. So, but I ordered it anyway because I want to have the experience of putting it in play, learning from it, and being able to share that way. Now, that was my choice, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. If for some reason the house that you have, the location you have, has already got overpopulated or is too far away, so on, you don't have to do that. You can still build this business, and that's what I like about it. You don't have to spend the $95 if you want to. I mean, I'll help you with it. I will run all those reports and assist you in qualifying these people just to make sure that we can help you build this thing and make it happen. So what I got from tonight's presentation, which, by the way, was, I already said it. It was well done, Ron. Did a good job. Is as I spend my time playing around with that back office that IHUB has prepared for us, I keep learning more and more that they're well done. It's extremely well done. And anything that I'm looking for, I'm able to find. And I don't really go for the weekly hoorah, meetings that people like to do or something like that. It just doesn't work for me. But the basic training that they have available is really, really good. It's really good. And this part where they've got us inaugurated into being able to decide and determine which antenna is going to work best for us, it's really well done. It's an exceptionally good video presentation. And you may find you don't need anything more. Or in some cases, you may find you're so far out, but there's some place that's close by that you could project it to, so it's going to take a different antenna. I mean, it's just well done, guys. But the next step out there, which is coming up in the shadows right behind it, is going to be the receiving of our boxes. So if you have not yet gotten that link to say your voucher's available, just be patient. It's coming. I know that I didn't get mine till just about a week ago. And, we were in that first group of 1,000 plus that they're getting ready to disperse the boxes to. Something else that I know that Ron didn't talk about is that, and we'll cover it on the next meeting, which will be next week, is setting up the boxes themselves. Because hopefully we're going to have boxes to play with by then. So, having said all that, and we don't have a large group this evening, so I'm open the floor to any kind of questions, comments, anything else that you might have that would be appropriate for our conversation this evening. So who wants to go first? And the crowd goes wild. Okay. Well then, yeah, go ahead, Kelly. Yeah, go ahead.
It was the people that will use IHUB from a customer point of view, that get into the system. I might be saying the wrong words, but that start everything going to where everyone's box is being used. The customers. Where do they come? Who gets those for the system?
Go for it, Ron.
Great, you bet. I pulled my screen back over. So I'm on the helium.com website. This is a fantastic website, and this is really the company that you are joining. IHUB is kind of in between us and Helium in terms of they've taken and created a marketing company. We've joined the marketing company. Helium is kind of the parent, and yet the whole ecosystem or the Helium blockchain is all of the controls of that is really those who own it. So it's all through voting and that kind of stuff with a lot of other blockchains. So it's Helium is where you can get a lot of great information. So I'm going to click on this Use button here. And I'm going to actually, let's just hit it, and maybe it's under, let's do it. Let's see if it's there. Okay. So on this Use tab here, who uses the network? And so if I've got a company, let us do, for instance, well, this is how I would join. I want to get a list of the, let's see if it's on here, staking tokens. Ecosystem, right? Maybe it's an ecosystem. Yeah, here we go. So here's the ecosystem. Users, I'm going to click on users right here. All right, so let's just see, these are current users. So Airly, who is that? It's an air quality monitor system. They track air quality around the globe to provide data to inform the public of unseen dangers. Let's find another one down here. CareBand, that's an elderly care and monitoring. This is a cutting-edge monitoring to empower people with dementia and their caregivers. So these are all devices, maybe a wearable device in the healthcare industry or in the agricultural industry or biotech, just different companies. These are all actual users of the system. And so what they've had to do is they've got their little devices, their hardware, that they might be placing somewhere in a building or out in a field or whatever, and they need to have data being transferred from those sensors back to their company. Well, they can use a very expensive option would be to use the data that you could transfer through cell towers or maybe satellite. And so you'd have to have a data package for all of your millions of sensors to run through those networks. Well, what we're able to do, or what we're building here, is a very cost-effective way for these companies who already have devices and already have a need to talk to them, and they may already be using AT&T or any of these cell networks right now, and we just become a cost savings to them. So yeah, right on the Helium website, you can see and learn about the different companies that are actually utilizing the system. This line, you see all these these mobility scooters that run around and so forth, they need to be communicated back to find out what the battery life is and you know where they're at and all kinds of things. And so, yeah, as the network gets built, more and more companies are going to decide to take some capital, buy some HNT, burn that HNT, and put that HNT into their account, and then spend it in the network communication, sending the data over their network. Okay. So Victor, everybody's had a mousetrap. Well, they've got mousetraps now that you can. The mouse goes in, and then the device tells you on your phone that this trap or this mouse trap at this location has a mouse in it. So you know they can go and retrieve the mouse without letting it get starved to death. You know, so these are just different companies that launch different IoT. These are Internet of Things functionality, and the world is just. I mean, there's billions and billions of devices that need access to talk back to their company or to your phone app or whatever. Does that help answer your question?
You know, in the presentation I did earlier, I learned in my research that within another 10 years, there's going to be somewhere between 2 to 3 trillion sensors that are all needing to have this kind of an access to be able to retrieve the information and return it to the manufacturer. That's what it's all about. And so us building this network at this point in time is paving the highways for them to be able to transmit that information. And it's kind of like a toll gate to a certain extent, so that it's just not going to be able to do anything. All right, it's all yours for a minute. I got to answer this call.
Okay. Any other questions I can cover? That was a great question, by the way. It's important. And you kind of asked it, who's going to get these clients? And I'm sure at Helium there is business development people trying to keep the industries aware of what where we're at with the network and how it's being built out. But I can tell you what, these companies that need this access are dying for a cheaper way to deliver information, and so I'm not worried at all about the companies that will be coming along and utilizing the network over time. Okay, anybody else have enough guts to ask you questions?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, was there a place you could go on the website to find out what kind of users are in your given area where you're going to set the hotspot up?
Yeah, so in Helium, so there's two places. I'm going to go to Helium Explorer. Now this is coming and launched off of the Helium.com website. It's very similar to the Helium Track, which is in the IHUB Global. But I just wanted to let you know you can come here directly to Explorer in Helium. And to get there, basically, you're going to go to helium.com. Okay, so helium.com, then you're going to come over to, I believe, Resources, and then you can click here, Helium Explorer. Okay, that's how I got there. You got a search button up here. Okay, you can search by a hotspot name. So if I do hands,
and Helium Explorer is within the Helium site?
Yes, Helium Explorer is, so essentially this is all open source, and so all the tools like Helium Track, they're just pulling the information from Explorer. Okay, so this is the most complete information, if you want to say. But I just I typed in one of the names of a hotspot. Every hotspot has 3 parts of the name. So you've got, it's really 2 adjectives and an animal. Okay, so handsome mustard guppy is this hotspot, and yours, when you get it, it's going to have its own name. So I can actually click on this hotspot here. And get information about what that hotspot's doing. I just clicked on another one. So I can see which hotspots it's communicating with. I can see that it's transmission scale. How much has it earned in the last 30 days? This one here has earned 4.9 in HMT. So everything is open source, and you can see all kinds of information. So I can just click on this one here. It's communicating here, and which that one's called Long Charcoal Griffin. So now I'm clicking into it and getting some details. It in the last 30 days has earned 4.32 in HMT. So you can go and find information. Does it kind of show
the users in that given area though, like whether it's dog collars or whatever?
Oh, as far as who's the data traffic that's going across it?
Yeah,
no.
Whose data traffic would be on it.
Yeah, I don't know of a way of learning where the traffic's coming from on a company that's spending data credits. This one here is really just proof of coverage, so you're seeing which hotspots are doing the proof of coverage. For instance, I can see on this one here, if I click on witnesses, it tells me exactly they've had 4 witnesses, and I know who they are and how far away they are from them. There's maybe some more details I can get. But yeah, you can see what kind of activity that's happening on that actual website or that actual hotspot. Here's some data. Let's see here. I don't know if this is going to be data. Transfer packets. I don't know who the company is, but you can see that there was some actual data transfer packets happening as well during this period of time on that hotspot.
Okay. Yeah, that was more of a curiosity thing if you could figure that out, who's using it in your area. So I'll probably have to dig through it and might see something.
Yeah. All right. That's a great question, too. I mean, it's nice to spend time in these tools and get familiar with it, and they're fun. You can go all around the world and see what a hotspot's doing, and who it's talking to in terms of the other hotspots. And but yeah, if you lived in this area, let me zoom in here. I can get closer and closer, and I guess this one really is a remote area because let's go way out, and I'll find a more dense, congested area. So let's just start zooming in here. And so you'll see more and more hotspots that are close by. Anyway, yeah, spend some time,
cool.
Have some fun with it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Okay, if we don't have any other questions, I'm going to step in here just for a minute. We've got on our group tonight people who have been here repeatedly who are obviously invested, not just financially, but their future, their plans, their building of a business is tagged to this particular process. I offer my congratulations to you. I'm looking forward to working with you. I think it's going to be a lot of fun in building this thing because it's just something that we can do right now while we're sitting here waiting for the IQD to come to fruition. This thing can pop in here and supply us some passive income and maybe just give us the retirement that all of us have been looking for. But what I want to offer you is this. Our efforts, and by our, I mean Ron and Tony and I, are all focused very heavily on promoting IHUB. They're very focused on whatever we can do to assist you. And so I've already shared with you that I've got that spot on the website where you can send me information and I'll process it and I'll get it back to you just as quick as I possibly can. But the question I have for you is, what else can we do? Can you see anything else that might be of benefit to you? I mean, if you need to have closed meetings, a presentation done by one of us, or what else do you need? Don't be afraid to offer a suggestion, a question, a request. Don't be afraid, okay? Because we're at the very beginning. This is the harbinger of the potentiality of something that could be huge, and I want to play in a bigger game, and I'm sure that you want to play in a bigger game, which is why you're on this call tonight. So let's work together. So anything you can think of as you're playing around with the website or playing around with their back offices or as you're out talking to people, if you've got something, a question, some assistance that you need, ask. Don't be afraid. Because I assure you, all three of us will jump at it in a hurry to help you get this thing up and running. So before we close it out tonight, one more comment. Ron, good job. Next week, like I said, I'm not going to be able to attend. I've got a series of doctor's appointments I get to go to. And also, on Tuesday, I am going to be doing a presentation with Tony. It's going to be the general invite stuff that we've been for the general public to come in. I'm going to be focusing, singing the songs a little bit about, Ross and, all the usual stuff. But I'm going to just skip through that in a hurry, and I'm going to go more deeper into charitable entities. And it's going to be pretty intriguing. I think if you have the opportunity, if you want to invite somebody to come in and take a look at it, feel free, and it'll be worth your while. It'll be worth your while. I'll send a link out with the email going out this evening to everybody to be able to get access to register for that particular event, and we'll go up from there. All right, Ron, anything else before we close it out?
Well, kind of what you just said, but in between now and next week, if something comes up, ask the question, send it via email to Bob. And so as I kind of put together a presentation of what I want to cover next week, I want to make sure that we include, anything that is hanging out there that someone has a question on. So that would be one thing. The other thing I, didn't touch on at all this week, and I don't know if you were on the call last week, but Bob has put the 3-year IHUB passive income calculator as a download. I don't know how many people have taken advantage of that and downloaded it. I'm just one of these individuals that before I'm going to really commit and put a lot of time and effort, I kind of want to know what, at least roughly, what kind of returns might happen. And what I've learned with this one automatically is the break-even point. In other words, when am I going to get my $100 back? Because I know eventually I'll get my $400 deposit back. So that's just sitting aside in an account. It's coming to me later. So when am I going to get my $100 back from the investment, and maybe the cost of my antenna and those kinds of things. And in terms of mining cryptocurrency, there's not an opportunity out there that can return as quickly, 2.2 months, or it's a ridiculously short period of time to get a return on your initial investment on this thing, and that becomes just into profit so much faster. And so it just became a no-brainer when I started putting a spreadsheet together to help me analyze, and then I've taken, from the commission information I got from their training, and I just plugged it into an Excel spreadsheet to kind of say, okay, hey, this is worth doing. And it's worth helping other people do it because it's that great of an opportunity. And I think it's providing a great service. I mean, they are, if you want to survive in a young business and go up against big telecoms and so forth, you've got to come out with a better mousetrap, as you want to say. You got to be more cost effective, broader coverage. And there's all kinds of interesting things coming down the road, like 5G, boxes that can handle 5G. There's this IHUB marketplace, which will be additional products that are outside of what we're earning in HMT with the mining process. And some of that revenue, just by building your organization, will come in without you doing anything else, because maybe someone down in your downline organization or within your affiliate grouping decides to sign up for the homeschooling tools and resources, or whatever they're putting out will be then available, and you'll be getting commissions from that too. So it's just the future is bright, not only for Helium, but I think the future is really bright for us in the affiliate marketing with IHUB.
On a final note, before we call it an evening, I don't know about the mousetrap one. I know this much: my wife does not want to know if there's a mouse in that trap. She's just going to send me to go look anyway. All right, folks. On that note, let's call it a night. We will see you next week. Ron will have more information for you at that time. Feel free to send in inquiries, questions, and whatever we can do to help. We're all here to help you. Okay? All right. Good night, folks. We'll see you later.